Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We're going to go over the dollar, 10-year yield, precious metals, and some of the companies to get a good gauge on what's going on. I am a huge precious metals bull. I think we've got the right market conditions. Eventually, this will come. It's just what path is this going to take? That's the question that most people have. And I don't know necessarily the path. I know that the eventual outcome is, I think, upward. So here we go. This is the dollar. We had a little bit weaker dollar, barely. Most likely, I would say it's just flat. But we were down 0.039. We are kind of contracting here. We'll see which way this thing breaks. We've been moving sideways on this, going across. The absolute value of the dollar is declining. The dollar index has been relatively stable against these other currencies, or has increased a little bit against them over the past about a year or so. I do think that this index will eventually head lower. I don't know the exact timing of it. The 10-year yield continues to look really good. We've broken to the upside of this. We have a little bloody nose. Everyone on the channel knows what a bloody nose is. We've got a long, tall candlestick with a little down day. I call it a bloody nose, which is a continuation pattern to the upside. So we'll probably see yields continue higher. And I'm not saying that the next day will be an up day, but we will probably have like a little down day today, maybe a little down day tomorrow, or a couple down days, and then an eventual move higher, or a move higher tomorrow, but something on the lines of that. Looking at gold itself, what we have, as I said, we were going to kind of move a little bit sideways, and then a break to the upside is what I was expecting. We've gotten our break today. We're up $13, $14. I'd really like to see a close above 1870. And why did I choose 1870? That's that close here. What I'd like to see a close above now is 1850. 1850 is our line in the sand to get kind of what I consider to be a new uptrend. This downtrend's been moving with lower highs. We are now getting higher lows, and we're coming to a point over here where we've got the buyers and sellers to a decision point. That decision point's coming soon, and hopefully we can break to the upside. I am biased to the upside because of the market conditions and real estate and the inflation coming from real estate and stimulus money, fiscal spending and bank lending. Same thing's happening with silver. We're getting that move to the upside with silver. We're right at the top of that resistance channel that I drew. I drew it at the top of this wick right here. It did close quite strong. It's looking pretty good for gold and silver. Platinum didn't fare as well, but platinum also looks really good. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure. What I think is probably going to happen is we're coming through this little resistance area through here, and then we're probably maybe throwing something like here. But you could also draw it a little bit differently, the bottom here. You could do something like this or something like that. Some sort of pattern that's developing. I don't know what the bottom necessarily looks like at this second. But it's developing. It's hitting its head on here. You can see all these little wicks at the top. Either it's being held down by somebody like a seller, or we're about to head higher here at any second and break through it. But I see larger buying pressure than selling pressure, and it's coming to a tip for a potential break to the upside. Now, with gold moving up, we're seeing the XAU, which is a gold silver mining index, move up faster. So I'm hoping that this downtrend line can break and move to the upside. What that means is that the gold and silver miners are about to come out of the woodworks and start to play if we can break this downtrend on the ratio to get the gold and silver miners moving. So I think if we get a good move in gold and the underlying physical metals, I think the mining companies are going to explode higher at some point. That's what it is. We have just a falling wedge broken to the upside, and we've been moving sideways with it. So I suspect that the mining companies, and that's what we're looking at here, are going to have a big move to the upside. We had that move. I put the arrow in there. We had a bullish engulfing. This is moving higher, 7.5% move higher. EXK, what do you think I wrote on that? I don't know. We'll find out. EXK is a silver mining company. We're right at the support line down here. I drew it in from another support line here. We have to find out where this thing's going. This does look like a shoulder, head, shoulder. Could we break down still? It's still a possibility. I'd like to break out of this line up here to say, hey, look, we're starting to make new highs. This is not going to break down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'm going to remain open. We had a bullish piercing here. I had a arrow pointing upward. We had the move upward today, especially with gold and silver moving higher. Let's see if that momentum can continue. Higher with the bullish piercing, move higher. GDX moved higher. So that looks fantastic. MMNGF, and guys, I put these arrows last time in the last video. This guy looks like it's finding some support. If you're brave, this would be the buying point down here to see if this line holds for metallic minerals. It's an exploration company. I don't have much money in it because it's an exploration silver company, but I have a little bit in there playing around with it. Koya Silver still looks good to move higher. We had a little bit of a small down day today, but it's a bullish engulfing the day before it. I still stand by a move higher. Discovery Silver still chopping sideways. We could be coming to a turning point to move on higher, but we're not launching from a base here. It's like we first need to establish a base. We've fallen out the downside here a little bit. I think it's going to have a little bit of time before it moves. First Majestic Silver looks really good for a move higher here. We pulled back like I thought. Now we're moving higher. You know, let's see if that momentum can keep going. Newmont's looking good. I had a higher move here. It's moving higher, just like what I thought with the way the candlesticks and the up days and buying pressure is in relationship to the down days. So this looks really good. It also has a bullish engulfing. So hopefully that can keep going higher. Mag Silver, I had this thing kind of moving over, but we had a nice good up day rally in the precious metals, and it rallied with it. Yamana Gold, I put a box down here. This is a lot of buying pressure down here and support, but we popped higher with it, especially with gold and silver. If we can break out of this pattern here, we're going to see a monster move to the upside. The size of this move could be quite dramatic because we had a very good, large move out of this base here in 2019. So whenever this is done, we could see another very large move to the upside. Impact Silver, we're still at this support line. We just bounced off of that support. Aftermath Silver, we're right at support, moving sideways. PLG, now I'm gonna kind of, I'll go on log here. We could be doing, I'm just gonna redraw this a little bit more like this, where we're coming up to a point here. We're breaking this hopefully to the upside right now, and hopefully this can keep moving higher. This broke and is trading with gold and silver. It's not trading with palladium and platinum. So the PLG group, platinum group metals, is trading more like gold and silver than it is with the platinum group metals. Sandstorm Gold, this is one of my favorite ones. This is one I did dump into here recently. I do think gold and silver are worthy of investments here. I think Sandstorm Gold looks really good right now, right here. That's one that I really like. I added in down here again to my holdings in a different account. Franco-Nevada, this one looks good. It's really starting to get some buying pressure stepping in. If we close above kind of where it's at, if we get above like 140, I think we're going to get a nice little run. EMX getting a little bit of buying pressure. We got our, so that's what I've drawn in there, that it's going to potentially head lower, but we got a bullish engulfing today, so I think I'm putting the move higher on it. Looks good from this candlestick setup right here. So that's a reversal candlestick pattern. Teuton Resources, this guy's still down here. It's right at kind of playing around down here. And I think if gold and silver move up, this will follow. It likes higher gold and silver prices. A lot of the properties they have will do well if gold goes up above certain critical levels. So this thing really took off. They own part of the Tudor Gold thing. That's what this big move is. But I think Teuton's going to do very well in a long-term perspective with all the properties they have royalties on up in the Golden Triangle. Wheaton Precious Metals, this guy's getting a little bit of buying pressure today. It still looks fine, and it's still squeezing up in this big pattern. So I'm just waiting for the break. And I think if gold breaks out, these guys are going to go and follow with it. Gold Royalty Corporation, this has got a bullish engulfing pattern. What I'm going to draw in here is a move higher. We've got a larger move up, a smaller move back with a bullish engulfing. That's a continuation pattern to move higher. A Metallo Royalty bouncing off a support line down here. This is the falling wedge. I would be a buyer down here. I mean, that's, down here is pretty good pricing. I don't think it's probably going to get too much cheaper. I'll eat those words if it falls to the downside, obviously. But, I'd be a sprinkler. I'd be a sprinkler in with Mavericks Metals too. It doesn't look bad to me. Yeah, we broke out to the downside of this big old pattern. It's been chopping sideways. We've been bouncing off this support line. So hopefully that can hold there. Royal Golds looks like it's ready to break to the upside of this downtrend line. I would be a buyer right here if you like Royal Gold. A Cisco Gold Royalties, OR, is a ticker symbol. This is another one that had a really long resistance line. Zooming in, it's got good buying pressure today. It's coming back into the pattern, so that's good. Big long-term perspective, we got to break above this big long pattern here and close above it, and then I will be an ultra bull. This one closed and it came back down. It's trying to break, but we also have higher lows stepping into this. I think we're getting close, and in my opinion, guys, like, I don't know the path. And a lot of short pin people, they want to know the path. I don't know the path. I know that this is good. I know that the market conditions are ripe for this to go higher. I can't tell you the exact timing. The timing, everyone tries getting the timing right, and that's where people mess things up. I know something's cheap, so I acquire it. I don't worry about the timing. If it gets cheaper, I buy more. That's my take. It's the least risk way to capture the move, especially if you think that the market conditions are ripe for a large move to come ahead of us. Is this 6 months out? I don't know. The move will be so big that the timing doesn't matter. I can tell you that. And if it breaks on down and we get a move to 1650, so what? I'll buy more. That'll be good for me because I'm going to buy more. And you don't take a loss if you don't sell. And if we're going to, I'm just going to make up a number: $4,000 gold, $3,000 gold, $10,000 gold. I don't know what it is. If we're going to that area, if we have a little detour, I'm not playing that type of movement. I'm playing the big move. So I invest in these things. I pick up shares and I don't sell them. And if something's down, usually what I do is I buy the things that are down. I don't chase performance. Oil is up quite high right now. I probably wouldn't buy much oil right now. I would buy uranium because it's down. I'd buy gold and silver because it's down. I buy those types of things. I've been buying physical platinum, the months back for $1,000 an ounce, a little bit under $1,000 an ounce with the premium attached to it. But that's where I buy. And I just hold on. I hold on. I know this is going to be a 5 to 10 year game. I don't know the path, but I know that the valuations are good. I know that the market conditions are good for higher prices at some point. I don't know that path. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.